I know it's been over a month since I last uploaded a video, and the reason why is because everyone has something else to do besides YouTube. And to be honest, I went weeks without going to this site for on multiple occasions. Well, anyway, on to the real content. Now, it's kind of glary. The waves of Atlantis. Well, you can only see Atlantis at this point, but trust me, it says the waves of in front of it. Now, so far, we have wasted a chapter, which was chapter 2. It was a complete and utter waste. It did not need to be in that book. Hopefully, chapter 3 is different and it actually picks up on the cliffhanger that chapter 1 ended on, instead of just introducing more crap to the plot. Right? Back on the Atlantis, confusion reigned supreme. The Australian asked, "Who will go out and start exploring the territory? Frankly speaking, since we can't surface, we might as well find out where we are. Does anyone want to volunteer?" "Don't look at me," Peter said. Hmm? Don't look at me, that was already used. I know it. I know that books can reuse words and phrases, but so soon? Surely this doctor, it says the author is Dr. Maxine Asher, sure this doctor could have some sort of larger vocabulary than this. "I was trained to explore the wild blue yonder." "Oh, yeah. I was mistaken. She does not have a very large vocabulary. In fact, she is quite stupid. I feel creepy sitting at the bottom of the ocean staring at ancient ruins, and I certainly don't plan to leave the craft, unless, of course, I am forced out by unforeseen circumstances." "Well, you were already here due to unforeseen circumstances, so good luck out there." "How many scuba suits do we have?" Tom asked. He seemed quite confident and eager to move out into the seas around him. "Oh, great, we have a volunteer." "Oh, only 2, Jane said wistfully. "I wish there were more. There could be sharks in the water, and there is safety in numbers." My God, what an awful sentence. There could be sharks in the water, and there is safety in numbers. Shouldn't you, I know that is different writing style and all, but shouldn't you at least write casually when when you're using dialogue? Who says there is safety in numbers? Unless they're adding emphasis on the word is. And all I can see on this is there's no emphasis. There's no capitalization, there's no italicized. It's just there. "Why aren't there more suits?" Walter asked. "They certainly didn't prepare us for the mess we're in now." "Well, in shark-infested waters, I'm not sure a suit would do you any good." "Well, obviously Houston didn't think we could sink to such a low level," said Rich. "This is no time for jokes," Jane admonished. "We have a serious problem on our hands. How much food is still remaining in the craft?" "Whoa. Why jump why jump to food so quickly? It's not lunchtime or anything, is it?" "Probably 3 to 4 days' worth of dried food and a week's worth of water," Peter said, looking into the cupboard. "Water we've got plenty of," wisecracked Franco. Shouldn't there be a comma after water?" Nah, might not. Might as well not show it to you. It'll make it longer. "Come on, let's get serious. We need to move out of the craft quickly and try to get help," Jane snapped. "That's a long snap." "I guess you two lovebirds will be the first ones out," said Arthur, snickering. "And there's no comma after Arthur when there should be." "Just who are you referring to?" Tom asked with a frown. "Duh. I mean you and Jane Tom." "Jane Tom?" Who the hell's Jane Tom? I suppose that there it's a last. It looks like a last name, but there's supposed to be a comma there. She really doesn't know how to use the English language very well, does she? You're not fooling anyone. Listen, Arthur, if there's anything between us, it is strictly business. Our business, snapped Tom. Just then, Jane intervened, changing the tone of the conversation. Oh my god. Okay, no more comments on commas. This is going to take forever. Yes, Tom and I are willing to go out first, said Jane, but it's not likely there will be much romance in a scuba suit. Well, I think I've heard of some people finding a way around it. Everyone cracked up at Jane's comment. A note of levity was needed at this serious moment. Oh, so even though this isn't a time for jokes, a joke is very needed in this dire time of need. While they were laughing, Jean and Tom donned their wetsuits and, saying their goodbyes, opened the hatch and swam out into the water world awaiting them. I hope they didn't say goodbye to each other. The pair were back, however, within a half an hour. Oh, look, no need to say what happened during their time out. You could just explain it all in past tense. Let's see how well she does past tense. Exhausted from the brief swim. Well, 30 minutes isn't exactly a brief swim. Devastated by the crash, they joined the rest of the crew for 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. The scuba diving task ahead of them was obviously strenuous. Someone already scuba'd! They should know what is out there now. But this dumbass bitch won't tell us what. Therefore, they needed extra rest before seriously exploring the territory. What, is everyone gonna go out? Fortunately, everyone slept well, despite their position at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, everyone's gonna go out. Everyone is going to leave the fucking ship unmanned and unavailable for use in case there actually needs to be survivors. And so far, nothing is keeping them there. It's only just curiosity at this point. They don't know if that unseen force is still holding onto their fucking ship. They don't know that, and we don't know it either. In the morning, however, when everyone awakened, it was apparent that panic was setting in. The men were fidgety and began to pace around the craft like caged lions. Tom suggested that he and Jane head out for a few hours and try to surface in order to get help. Everyone agreed. Wow. So, nothing's keeping them there, as I already said, but not even this unseen force is worried about captives. Since the radio was still dead, there was little else they could do. Oh yeah, sure, surface in the center of the Bermuda Triangle and swim a couple dozen miles to the nearest land mass, which is not very inhabited and couldn't possibly have the resources to send a team down to where you specified. And how the hell could you remember where you surfaced? On Jane and Tom's second foray into the murky waters, the pair realized that trying to raise the Atlantis craft would not be an easy job. Okay. They were situated at a considerable depth, and their oxygen supply was limited. Okay, then shouldn't they take active measures to conserve their oxygen? Maybe, I don't know, not pacing, not talking too much, trying your best not to panic. All around the shuttle were vestiges of ancient temples, markers for tombs, pyramids, large and small, what appeared to be prehistoric inscriptions, and dozens of broken columns. Well, the first chapter, it ended with just a pyramid. Now there's all this shit? Mile after mile, they encountered the remains of a very ancient city. Oh my god. She she could have added this at the end of the end of the first chapter. She could have said, "We appear to be inside an ancient city that's located underneath the Bermuda Triangle." Okay, that it would be stupid, but at least the city shit would make sense. At the end, she just said it's just a pyramid out the window. Of course, Jane truly believed the city was Atlantis, which she deducted from her prior readings and studies about the lost continent. Okay, Atlantis, if you've done your research about this, Atlantis is a large landmass, not a city. This landmass was supposedly home to Poseidon's kin, and for some reason it sank to the bottom of the ocean. And this landmass had a few countries on it. It was not a city. It was a giant piece of land. Calum was less sure about the name of the antiquities, but he recalled that Jane was nearly always correct in her sometimes outlandish theories. Well, if they were so outlandish, then why they get correct? Usually, the incorrect is outlandish. If I say I can weave gold out of cotton, that would be incorrect, and it would be very outlandish to claim such a thing. If you say the sky is blue, that's correct, but it's not really outlandish, is it? While swimming, the pair noticed crystals of many hues embedded into certain monuments. They had no idea what the crystals were, but they were dazzled by their brilliance. Talon tried to break off a crystal to carry back to the shuttle, but he was unsuccessful. Schools of fish swam all around the crystallized remains, but none of them appeared to be dangerous or even menacing. Ooh, scary fish. Those fucking cuttlefish are gonna bite your head off, man. The water was perfectly clear in spots because the sun was shining brightly. This made diving and exploring much easier, at least for a short period of time. Okay, how far under the ocean are they? I think it said in the first chapter that they were submerging it for at least a minute. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Yeah. 2 minutes. 2 fucking minutes was the time frame.